Hey guys, this is Jamie. So today we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic called babies, which is pretty much filled with gender reveals, and it is something that I struggled with the past, and not that I struggled with being a child in the past specifically, but I wanted to talk about the whole sort of social pressure we have specifically as trans guys to sort of think about being a dad. Do we want to be a dad in the first place? Do we want to have children? And obviously, it's a legit discussion we need to have. And in my case, before I started testosterone, it was a very sort of valid reason for which I and my doctor we discussed it. I took a while to think about it and to make sure that I did not want biological children. Now, I want to preface this with saying that I always wanted to adopt children. As long as I can remember, I was always like, I want to adopt, I want to do this. I don't give a shit. And I always got into trouble with my family, specifically with the woman part of my family. So like, and it was very difficult for them to wrap around their head the concept that I just simply didn't want children of my own. And I do want to say that as a society, we really focus on whether the children are adopted or whether they're our own. Up to the point that I saw a Twitter post the other day, which was something like, "You're not, no, yeah, you're not a mom if you didn't give natural birth." And in general, looking at my family's history, I was really surprised at the amount of people who really kind of pushed through trying to give natural birth instead of C-section, and complications would happen quite often. So it was also something that I didn't understand, and also please keep in mind that obviously, despite all this pretty pink interior, I'm still a guy, and I'm a trans guy, which apparently I have to say. But yeah, so obviously, being a dude in any other way, I just didn't want to birth, and it's a very sort of valid uh, reason and sort of viewpoints from many trans guys. A lot of trans guys do not want to give birth. And at the same time, for instance, I knew a trans guy who had given birth, and he had the happiest daughter I have ever seen in my life. And every time I mention a kid, I'm always like, that kid had two gay dads. One was trans, one was cis, and I've never seen such a happy baby. And I remember when I would talk to my relatives, and everyone would be like, well, it's gonna be hard on the baby having gay dads or whatever. And then I got to meet this trans guy with his daughter, and I remember how it really shook my world because I was kind of getting bombarded with this whole, you know, kids can't be happy in a gay family. And please bear in mind that I've been transitioning for a really long while and I'm a fossil at this point. Which is really weird considering, like, I remember when I started transitioning and sometimes I meet even bigger fossils than I am. But yeah, so I just feel like society has a massive sort of emphasis, a massive obsession when it comes to having biological children. Like, I know that I'm a bit on the extreme side because I legit get angry when I see like couples with like 5 kids and I'm like, couldn't you just fucking adopt instead of whooping one out of your vagina? I'm sorry. That is legitimately how I feel. Because I feel like there's a lot of orphanages, and specifically in this era where there's war, there's obviously poverty and etc. I just feel like it's not the right mindset to do that. And specifically, using it as a sort of way to devaluate, to dehumanize people, like if they can give birth or not. And at the same time, I would obviously like to say that I think it's cool that obviously as a society, as humanity is moving forward, trans women can give birth by there was a trans woman who got a uterus placed into her, and I don't remember how her pregnancy is going, but just the fact that we have reached that, that's pretty cool. But at the same time, I want to say, like, see, I understand that when it comes to trans women, they want to give, they want to have a sort of certain womanhood, a sort of motherhood. But at the same time, I still feel like you can still have that with children that are not necessarily birthed out of you, or who are not with the same DNA. So I really don't understand, like sperm access in facilities. I do understand, obviously, like the surrogates can be easier to obtain in certain countries, and specifically if you have money and you want to pretty much get a baby as soon as possible, surrogates are the option. But at the same time, I just feel like there is this unexplained sort of problem, which is that people, when they talk about having kids, they say, oh, I want to continue my legacy or whatever, I want like our family to keep going. And I feel like that is the problem that we should factually get rid of, because there's more to connections than just blood or family. And please keep in mind, while I'm saying this, I have very strong ties to certain members of my family. I truly love the accepting members of my family. I have like my in-laws who I really love. But at the same time, it's just, family is more than just, you know, whatever you want to think about it in a sort of a restricted mindset or in a conservative traditional way, is what I'm trying to say. And I understand this video sounds very controversial, but and then, for instance, because of that, it goes on into like gender reveals, like this whole obsession of showing that yes, we have a baby, we made a baby, we're gonna show like the genitals of our baby to the world, in a way. So there are many things I really don't understand about fatherhood, motherhood, parenthood. But at the same time, I'm one of the few people, for instance, in my class, like I'm in a class of, I'm psychology students, and I remember whenever teachers ask, like, class, like, will anyone have children, I always raise my hand, and I am specifically emphasize that I'm adopting with my partner. And there's only a few which actually raise their hands and say, like, yeah, I want to bring a child to this world. So yeah, and I also wanted to briefly touch on a very, very, very weird skeleton we had before in the trans community, which was pretty much, there was a trend of trans guys which were very, very vocal about not telling their kids the fact that they're trans. And please, I understand that selfness has its benefits and its pros, just like any other trans guy. But hiding it from your own kid is a bit extreme. And it also ties into the fact that, why are you not telling this? Is it also because you want to be really obsessed with this biological tie? So I really do feel like as a society, we need to overstep this biological obsession, and specifically with the gender reveals, with other things, they're really getting pushed onto our throats. Also, sort of like with the same people who go about the agenda is like real and we're like converting children or whatever the fuck. So yeah, I just feel like we need to adopt more, we need to love more one another. And I don't know, I just have a lot of strong opinions about why I don't think childbirth is important, or the bearing of a child. Like, I feel like if every child was adopted and it was, and we were like in a great society structure, then I would be like, yeah, whatever, like, do your thing, birth a baby. But right now, I just feel like it's something that we shouldn't have the luxury to do, in my opinion. So again, this was very controversial. This is literally my thoughts on the subject. Um, I'd like to say thank you for everyone who has been watching my videos, who has been enjoying them. Pat on the back for those who don't still watch it. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you want to fight me in the comments, I guess feel free. And please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate all the support I've been getting, and also if you enjoy this viewpoint or you want to spread it further, the share button is yours. Thank you very much.